Does the original Allure Homme still outshine its flankers? Let's review it now and find out. Hey, what's going on guys? Hunter here and welcome back to my channel where I upload weekly fragrance content. So you already know what to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and also be sure to follow me over on my Instagram page. But today we have a Chanel classic in my hand from the late 90s, guys. And that is the original Allure Homme. If you know me, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the most hyped fragrance within this line, which is the Eau Extreme. That's made it on countless list videos of fragrances I dislike. I've never been a fan of that fragrance, and I actually do own a bottle right here that I've had in my collection for probably around 5 years now, but just never vibed with this one. However, the original, it might be a lot better for me. So let's go over some information. Now, the original Allure Homme was launched in 1999, so it is pretty old at this point, but it's not necessarily dated, and we'll talk more about that in the scent profile. But as far as the retail price on the size that I have in hand, the 100 ml is going to set you back $110. So honestly, it's not the worst pricing when it comes to, of course, Chanel's. And the concentration for this one is an eau de toilette. And the perfumer who was the in-house perfumer for Chanel is Jack Poles. So he's been a master, of course, for many, many years and has created so many good fragrances, including this one. With all that information out of the way, let's look at the packaging and presentation you get with Allure Homme now. So we're only going to be taking a look at the bottle today because unfortunately the box is buried beneath so many other boxes that I can't find it at the moment. I do have it, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get it. But looking at the bottle, I actually really enjoy this aesthetic with the original Allure Homme. Of course, with this one, rather than the other ones, this is a clear glass. With the Allure Homme logo right there, on the bottom you will have your information as well, all engraved into the glass. Nothing on the back. On the front of the cap, you have Chanel engraved into that silver ring around the cap. On top, you have the red Chanel logo. Inside, nothing on top of the atomizer either, but this does click into place very snugly. In the top, you have lemon, peach, ginger, mandarin orange, lavender, and bergamot. In the mid, you have pepper, cedar, patchouli, vetiver, rosewood, rose, jasmine, gardenia, anise, and freesia. And in the base, you have vanilla, tonka bean, sandalwood, coconut, amber, benzoin, musk, leather, and oak moss. And this would be classified as a spicy woody. And looking at that note breakdown, that's a lot of notes for being a Chanel. So let's spray this one and see how the atomizer is. Now, these Chanel atomizers are not pressurized, but they do spray very, very wide. So let's go in and see what we detect out of all those notes. So right from the initial spray of the OG Allure Homme, there's actually a lot going on in this top. You have some freshness, you have some citruses, you have some fruitiness, some sweetness, some aromatics as well. And that citrus quality is coming from, of course, that lemon. It's very bright, very uplifting, very juicy, along with a fruity peach and that kind of signature Allure Homme orange note, which I believe is in all of them. And of course, you cannot forget that aromatic lavender, which does make this one kind of classic. You do get that fougere barbershop aromatic touch in here. It's kind of like a spicy lavender. It's not really creamy. It's not really floral, anything like that. It's actually pretty spicy. And that's the reason why I prefer the original Allure Homme more than the overhyped Eau Extreme, because in that one, you actually get this burst of sage note, which I'm not a fan of at all the way it's done in there. This one though has a lot more going on. It's way more complex. And for some reason, this one is overly slept on, especially nowadays. I think this one still holds up very good. And I know a lot of you guys watching this will probably hate because the Eau Extreme has like a cult following. A lot of people absolutely adore that fragrance as the best Chanel. Just for some reason, I never really liked it at all. And when I finally got my nose on the original Allure Homme, I was like, wow, okay, this is this real star of the entire line. In my opinion, they should make like an Eau Extreme of this one because technically the Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme is a flanker of the Sport variant. This one though, they should make Allure Homme Eau Extreme. I think that one would do really, really well. It's been rumored that Chanel is launching a brand new fragrance within a couple months. Maybe they will launch a flanker to this one, but that's probably not the case. It will probably be like a Bleu de Chanel elixir. That would not surprise me if they come out with something like that. But anyways, back to the original Allure Homme. Once we do get into the mid of this fragrance, it does become even more spicy with that black pepper note. At least that's what I'm detecting. There's a bunch of notes in the mid, like a bunch of florals, but honestly, I'm not really getting any of those. I'm not getting any rose, any jasmine, Definitely no gardenia. It just turns even more spicy. Maybe like a vetiver in there as well, like an earthy, grounded vetiver. Just not much life there in the mid. This is definitely a top and base heavy fragrance through and through. So when we actually finally do get into the base of this fragrance, it's probably my favorite part because it becomes very creamy, very cozy and warm from that vanilla. It's very heavy on a spicy vanilla in this fragrance. That's actually one of the main notes in the entire composition from the top, mid, and base. Is that creamy vanilla alongside that signature tonka bean, which this whole line I think is known for as well, which also comes across a little bit creamy, slightly gourmandish. Of course, tonka bean, vanilla, sandalwood, all three of those notes just work so well together to bring a nice creamy balance. And they're just all like made for each other because when they're all blended together good, they are flawless. And yeah, you get a flawless creamy base in this fragrance. Now that coconut is listed. I don't get really any of that coconut note, which is unfortunate. I think that would be a pretty cool kind of unique twist on this DNA. But yeah, just all in all, very warm, creamy, cozy, slightly resinous from that amber and benzoin. Such a complex fragrance that is crazy. It's over 20 years old now at the point of this recording. This thing still holds up very good and it's not dated by any means. But that's Chanel for you guys. Chanel is always timeless and classic. Now let's talk about the best seasons and occasions to wear this one. So honestly, this is so versatile. One of the most versatile fragrances within the whole Chanel lineup, along with, of course, Bleu de Chanel. This one though will work in like fall, winter, of course, and also the spring and summer. So you can wear this as a signature scent without a doubt. It would just fit every single season perfectly. Of course, spring and summer, just because of how citrus and fresh that top is, along with the aromatic qualities, as well as the fall and winter because of that nice creamy, resinous, cozy base. Just an outstanding signature scent for any man. Now for occasions as well, it's also very versatile. It kind of plays along with the versatility in the seasons. You can also wear this one dressed down in a hoodie. If you're wearing just jeans, or if you're wearing shorts and a t-shirt, you can wear it. But you can also dress it up if you're putting on a nice suit or going to a wedding or dressing up a little bit nicer for a date night or something along those lines. Going to work at the office, any single occasion, this one will shine for you. This fragrance is literally just down for anything, guys. You put this one on, it's ready to go. So touching on gender and age groups for Allure Homme. Now, of course, this is a man's fragrance. Very, very masculine leaning at that even. So, of course, the name Allure Homme, you would expect that. A signature-worthy fragrance for a masculine man, in my opinion. There's nothing feminine about this whatsoever. Regardless of the slight fruity top, it does not go towards the feminine side. One of the most masculine Chanel fragrances in the entire line, along with Aigues, of course. Antaeus, which is another one that I have to get my hands on. I love Antaeus. It's a classic Chanel. And of course, you can't forget about the OG Chanel fragrance for men, which I think launched back in the 70s, which was Pure Monsieur. I have got my nose on that one, and I definitely need to get a bottle of that very, very soon. But this just goes along with all of those being very, very masculine leaning. Now on age groups as well, this one is a little bit tricky. Obviously, it being a late 90s creation, it does definitely lean on the mature side without a doubt. If you're 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s and up, you can pull this one off. But for some reason, there's something about it that I think a younger guy could definitely wear as well. If he wants to stand out from the crowd when everyone else is wearing like Bleu de Chanel in the Chanels, or like Dior Sauvage or Yves Saint Laurent Y or anything like that. I think this would also suit a younger guy in like maybe 18s and up as well too. Because I'm in my 20s and I absolutely love this fragrance and I can wear it without any hesitations, without any second thought. So yeah, versatile when it comes to age groups also. Wrapping things off, talking on the performance. So of course this is an eau de toilette concentration, so it's not the most concentrated thing. However, I got about average performance from Allure Homme, which I consider is around 8 hours of longevity on skin. Nothing more than 8 hours, nothing necessarily less than 8 hours. It definitely does stretch to that 8 hour mark. Towards the end of that life cycle, it definitely turns into a skin scent a few hours before that. So keep that in mind. This is not a beast mode fragrance. It's not nuclear. It's not overpowering or anything like that. As far as the projection, it did project off the skin fairly nicely, especially with that nice kind of like citrus freshness in the opening along with the fruits, for maybe around 2 to 3 hours of a good arm's length distance. And then after that, it starts to settle down closer into your intimate scent bubble up to that 8 hour mark. Honestly, for something like this scent profile, I really don't have any complaints with the performance of this one. It's kind of what I expected, maybe even slightly more than what I expected, because when it comes to this, I expect below average performance, like 6, 5, 7 hours maybe. This one though was pretty solid for what it is. At the end of the day, if you are looking for a signature scent that not everybody's wearing, especially nowadays in today's day and age, nobody's really wearing the OG Allure Homme. I definitely recommend going and checking this one out over the flankers in this line because this is still the best. Even though I do want to try one other one in this line, which is a Dijon Blanche. I heard that one is like a good lemon cake vibe, so I need to get my nose on that one. But from the ones I've tested, this is by far the best. But that's gonna do it for my review of the OG Allure Homme. Let me know down below if you ever tried this one and what is your favorite fragrance within this lineup. I'm actually really curious about that. But besides that, leave a like on the video, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll catch all of you guys back here in my next upload. Take care, everybody.